Justice, no profit, no eggs, bacon, no sausage.
Chikesia Clemons is charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest at the Saraland Waffle House. A restaurant manager called the police during a dispute over a charge. Protesters say cell phone video shows Clemons being violated, humiliated, and charged with her own assault. And today, Real Housewives star Phaedra Parks added another voice to their cause.
As a person who has often frequented Waffle House, I cannot support any company that does not do women, people of color, or people of different sexual orientation right. And what is right, and what's wrong is wrong. And Waffle House is wrong in this instance.
Police have said Clemons was intoxicated, and security footage from inside the restaurant shows her threatening workers. Waffle House has publicly supported the manager who called police. The restaurant chain issued a statement this afternoon in response to the protest, affirming its diverse customer base and culture of inclusion. The statement reads in part, "We understand the concern over these incidents and welcome continued communication with the community, its leaders, and the customers involved." You can read the full statement on 11alive.com.